Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Ignore the shirt, but I do want to just jump right in and say Walt was a good dad for like 2 minutes. This episode was fucking epic, and I don't say that. I say all the episodes are really good, but this one was fucking epic. From the beginning to the end, just the amount of like emotions and like the amount of change we saw Walt go through from the beginning of the episode to the end. We're immediately gonna jump into Walt. We're immediately gonna start in on Walt. So Walt starts this episode off. He's like, how do I cope with being fine? How do I cope with the possibility that maybe I won't die? Maybe I'm not gonna die by the end of this. So he meets up with Jesse and they're talking over breakfast, lunch, who cares? And Jesse's like, that's so awesome that you're doing better, bro. Like, that's so good. What are you gonna do? And Jesse's such a sweetheart. He cares so much. Like, this is his business partner. And he's like, damn, like, that's amazing. Like, my aunt, she was just as bad as you were and she ended up dying. Like, it's amazing that you made it. And Walt's only focusing on the bad. He's like, I'm not out of the woods yet. Yeah, like it looks good now, but it could always turn for the worse. And Jesse's like, bro, this is awesome. Like, be present. Like, this is good. This is good news. And so Walt goes home. He has this party with his family. Congrats on being in remission. Congrats. And Walt turns into a fucking devil. Like, he turns into a demon. I was honestly at the edge of my seat with the scenes of him and Hank in the bottle. He was like, bring me back the bottle. He's getting his kid drunk. He's 16. He made his kid barf, right? And I honestly think that Walt Jr. is going to develop some sort of like substance abuse thing after this situation with his dad. I really do think, because he was proud of himself. He was like, yeah, I may have thrown up, but I kept up with you and Uncle. I really do want to kind of dive into the emotions that Hank must have been feeling at that party. He felt like, in the beginning, when he first got his cancer diagnosis, right? He said, why me? And then when he got basically cleared, or his cancer's in remission, he said, why me again? So the first why me is like, okay, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a normal run-of-the-mill guy. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. Why do I have cancer? This sucks. Who's gonna take care of my family? Shit like that, right? Why me? Then, through this process of like getting cancer, he kind of just found himself. I'm gonna die anyway. So he unlocked this new part of his personality where it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what I want because I'm gonna die anyway. And so him having cancer kind of created this freedom for him. I'm running out of time, so it doesn't matter what the fuck I do. So if you put it into terms like that, like cancer gave him a freedom he didn't previously have, now you can kind of understand the loss that he was feeling once he found out his cancer was in remission. Nobody fucking understands why he's seemingly upset. The why me was the most depressing thing he could have said. Honestly, if he could have played it off and been like, oh, like so many other people die of it. Why am I the special person who gets to live or something? He could have played it off like if that accidentally slipped out or something. But nah, he said, I said what I said, and he wanted to be heard. And so this episode, we really just see him pushing himself further and further away from his family. He's neglecting them. It almost seems like he's avoiding them. And it's so interesting because one of the things that Walt was so upset about was the bonding between Hank and his son. That's kind of why he was making Walt Jr. drink. And Walt's like, my house, my son, my bottle, my rules. Basically saying that you have no bearings here. You don't run shit around here. I do. So obviously that means he was feeling some type of way about like Hank and his cool stories and, Walt Jr. being so impressed by what Hank does. And that was obvious when Hank said something, and Walter was like, why are you looking at him? I can relate. I had a moment like that once too in my life where, like, I don't know what I fucking said. I said like a joke or something, and I thought it was pretty fucking funny, but it was one of those like crude, like tasteless jokes. And so one of my friends gave my other friend this like look of like horror or something. And I was like, why are you looking at her? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you thought the joke was bad, tell me that. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? So Walt wanted attention in that situation. While we're on the topic of attention, we're going to pivot into Skyler really quick, and then we might bounce back to Walt. Well, we will bounce back to Walt. Skyler. She is on, just like I fucking said in my last video, she is on the right track to cheat on Walt. She is. He's ignoring the family. He's doing little DIY projects. Oh, we have rot. You know, making little excuses to not have to sit down and perform picket fence family. Because, you know, that ship has sailed. Pre-cancer Walt was picket fence family. Pre-cancer Walt was that. And after he got his diagnosis and it freed him, you know, like he gained this new boundless reality where he could just do what he wanted because nothing mattered because he was going to die anyway. After he reached that point, he cannot fathom having to go back to his cookie cutter life. He cannot fathom it, and it makes him like he has to escape it. So he has to start doing DIY projects. He has to start just avoiding the family, avoiding Skyler. And it looked like shit was just getting good between them. And that's the reason why Skyler was crying at work. She didn't understand. She's like, the cancer is what ripped our family apart. Now the cancer's in remission. Logically, that should mean our family should be kind of healing itself, getting back on the right track. But Walt's not interested in that. Walt is interested in his freedom. Nothing matters because I'm going to die anyway. I'm doing this for my family because I want them to have something when I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? He lost his freedom. Now he's just a school teacher again. Now he has to clean back up and be a cookie cutter little version of himself. And Skyler's had it. Skyler is like, I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore. She's like, things were supposed to be different. And she starts crying in frustration at work. And honestly, I'm with her 100%. And Skyler, just like me, for real, she, when her boss was walking past and she wanted his attention, because mind you, she's not getting any at home. Okay? So this is the perfect way to set your wife up to cheat on you. This is the perfect way. Stop paying attention to your wife. Make her feel like a burden. Gaslight her into feeling like she's going crazy, right? You're basically isolating her. And you're kind of ending the relationship yourself. This isn't me condoning cheating, by the way. I think cheaters are disgusting. I hate people who cheat. But these are the steps you take when you're trying to push someone out of your life. Walt's doing them all. Maybe not intentionally, maybe intentionally, but he's doing them regardless. And so Skyler is a woman, right? And more than anything, like women, we're very emotional and social creatures. We need attention. We need camaraderie. We need to feel important. We need to feel like someone's checking for us. We need that kind of stuff. And so Skyler, when her boss is leaving for the day, she throws her cup of pencils on the ground and she's like, oh, damn, all loud. So he comes in and checks on her because she knows he still cares about her. And she knows he still likes her because of the whole hand thing, the whole, oh, it'll be okay. And he's playing his cards right. He wants Skyler. And guess what? He could probably get her at this point. So Walt is he's gonna lose everything. And I'm just getting kind of shook up thinking about it because, like, the man who has everything is gonna lose it all because of his own fucking... Isn't that just like a man? His ego and pride making him lose the best things that's ever happened to him? Watch. I can't wait till we get to a point in the series where Walt loses everything and he realizes, damn, I lost the most important things to me, chasing something that does not matter. I cannot wait till he reaches that point, and I think it's coming, and I think it's coming soon. There's only 6 seasons of this show, and I'm already almost done with season 2, so we're almost halfway through this thing, and Walt's gonna lose everything. He really is. Big shout out to Hank, even though he was racist as hell this episode. Big shout outs to him because he was actually looking out for Walt Jr. And now I am interested to see how Hank and Walter's relationship maybe changes after this situation, because Walt did show Hank a different side of himself. And as a DEA agent, he's gonna be like, damn, Walt's capable of some gnarly shit now that I think about it. And so maybe his changing opinion of Walt is going to lead the DEA to Walt's door. I mean, maybe. And that all being said, I do want to point out the beginning of this episode. We see the pool, this pink bear, 2 bodies, and it looks like it's outside of Walt's house. I'm pretty sure it is. Who the fuck dies? Is this like we're showing you the end, how the series ends? So you always keep in the back of your head, 2 people are gonna die. 2 people are gonna fucking get killed right outside of Walt's house. And then evidence is gonna be this little bear. Maybe that's his daughter's little stuffed animal or something. I don't know. But I guess we're gonna fucking find out, and I can't wait to see. Now let's move on to Jesse Pinkman and his bad biddy. So the drawing scene was kind of cute. I was like, how is this gonna relate to anything? And then at the end of the episode, it kind of came back up with, I guess her name's Jane making a little apology drawing. That was super cute. So Jane's dad comes and she pretends like she doesn't know Jesse, which honestly is valid. I don't know why he expected her to introduce him to her dad. She was really valid in that situation. And that might be a hot take. That really might be a hot take, because I know if it was me, I wouldn't have gone out there expecting to be introduced to anybody, like we never saw any sort of, do you want to be my girlfriend? We never saw any kind of, let's make this official conversation or anything like that. So for you to hop your ass out of the bed, all dirty and dingy, and come put your face in front of my dad and act like we're a thing, that's crossing a line. But that's why, guys, it's always important to talk about your boundaries with your partners, because that's something I would have set from the get-go. You never asked me any question. I am a single woman. I like you, but my parents are off limits because we're not official, period. So I really did feel like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I was on her side with that, because you can't just spring that on somebody. Introduce me to your dad. And on the flip side of that, I mean, of course it would feel nice to be like claimed by somebody in front of their parents, but that's a conversation that you need to have. That really is, because like she said, you're the tenant next door. You're on drugs. You smell like drugs. You're not in a presentable state right now. Why the hell would I want to introduce you to my father when you're at your visible, like, maybe not worse, but you're not visibly that appealing at this moment? Like, he literally looked like he rolled out of bed, and he literally did just roll out of bed. Like, why would I want to introduce you to my father as my boyfriend, or like someone I'm fucking, or like anything like that at that point? There was no, there's no title on that. So that was weird of him to expect, but he is a soft little lover boy, it seems, because he was, it seemed like he was smoking a bowl. He was really distraught. He was heartbroken, I want to say. And yeah, that like affected him big time, but like at the same time, that's supposed to be a conversation you have with your partner. You should never just expect or roll up on somebody with their parents. That's something that should never happen. Talk to your partners about boundaries. It's very important to keep yourself out of situations like these, because that does hurt. Jesse's valid for feeling hurt. They're both valid. She's valid for being like, what the fuck were you trying to do? Like, hello? And he's valid for being hurt, because that shit does hurt. That feels like rejection. It does. And then for her to just casually come back into his house, oh, want to go see a movie and blah, blah, blah. That would rub the sting in my face even more, I feel like as if you didn't just pretend like I was a stranger in front of your dad. But like, he has to understand that this is her dad, and he looked like he just woke up from a really long nap. You know those naps where you wish you just never napped? Because it's like 6 hours and you feel worse than you did before you decided to lay down? That's what he looked like. Why would I want to introduce you to my dad in that state? You know what I'm saying? So they were both valid in that situation. Let's get to the end of the episode. Literal fucking Kino. Like that to me is cinema. Literally. I knew it was coming. I didn't think it was coming this episode. I thought like maybe we were going to get like a montage of him while living his boring cookie cutter life, trying his hardest to like accommodate or, you know, wear back into this cookie cutter stereotypical family roles. Try and give Skyler the attention and the reassurance she needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are not giving your wife an easy time at all. You are in remission and she's just fucking happy for you. Why can't you just put on a happy face, get over yourself? You know, he's having a selfish woe is me pity party because, oh, I can't cook meth anymore. Oh, I'm not gonna die. I can't live like I'm on the edge anymore. Why don't you fucking grow a pair of balls? Why don't you put on a happy face for your pregnant, high-risk wife, okay? And just fucking act normal for like at least a week. Jesus fucking Christ. He didn't last 2 minutes. Like, come on, bro. Nah, so honestly, if Skyler decides to leave him, I'm totally okay with that. Like, go, girl. You're not getting what you deserve out of this relationship. So go find somebody who will do it. Period. That's on period. But anyways, Walt giving the guy some tips. He's like, don't get all the materials from one place. Like, I know you're gonna make meth. I see right through this. He gave him some tips, like genuine feedback. And the guy got scared. He was probably like, this guy's a fucking cop or some shit. Like, well, maybe not a cop. But he was scared. He fucking ran out of there. Walt comes out of the fucking place like a badass. And he's like, stay off my turf or territory or whatever he said. But that was fucking iconic. I was like, damn, Heisenberg is back. Anyways, that is it for this video. Comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.